So for those of you who are new, again, I'm Dennis McKeezy, and for the past 26 years, I've been a school aide, a teacher, assistant principal, and principal. And now for the past 7 years, I've been doing a lot of leadership coaching of principals all across the country. And so now that I don't get the opportunity to go to them as much, now we all get together this way. And if you look around the room, as you can see, I mean, we got people from New York, Newark, New Jersey. We have people from Brooklyn. We have people from Mount Vernon. We have people from South Carolina. Now we got people from Camden. We got people from Compton. Ain't nothing but love, man. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to come out here and, again, to one, fellowship with one another, because I know these times are tough. You know, today alone, I've gotten 5 calls or texts from principals who wanted to be here, who couldn't be here because of either death in their own personal families or death with somebody on their staff. So it's an extremely tough time for everybody here. And I know that this is a sacrifice for everybody to basically give up an hour of your day to come and spend time with me and other principals that you see in this room. So one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we were clear about was that us getting together is most likely going to change the complexion of what leadership development looks like across the country. But I'll be remiss if I didn't allow for an opportunity for people to kind of stress on how difficult or how challenging things are before we even get into today's topic, which is time management.
So, coming on that second week, and you kind of went at everybody about doing like a video or something for your kids. And as you're talking about it, I'm already like, yeah, that's not going to happen, bro. That's not me. I don't do that. And as I see Marissa laughing, she knows that's not me. And Valerie's laughing because she knows me as well. Yeah, that's not me. But Sunday morning, I woke up and I just had like a bad boy, Puff Daddy vibe in my head, like bad boy, like we ain't going nowhere. We bad boys for life. And it stuck in my head because my staff had just kept pissing me off with the complaining. And I got caught in the matrix of
hold on, Jason. Look at everybody's face. Look at everybody's face.
Yeah, I see everybody. Everybody, yes. So y'all feel me, yes. So it's like all the complaining, and I'm like, yo, we are getting paid where I know people that don't have any money right now, don't know. And all I hear the complaints are like, well, how many times do we have to check in? I'm like, oh my gosh. So I woke up Sunday, I got my phone, I went on Google, I got Bad Boys, just the instrumental of We Not Going Nowhere. And I just was playing it, and my wife was a parent coordinator. She was like, oh, you're feeling yourself right now. I said, yeah, I miss my kids, babe. I said, I need to do something to get back to my kids. I said, because the staff has got me caught in this matrix, I got to get out of it. And I got a very supportive wife. She was like, all right, let's go. Don't talk about it, be about it. So she put it on the bows, and I was just walking around the house, just getting my whole rhyme together. And I hit on my community school director. I said, yo, I got an idea. I need 3 songs. I need that. I need We Fall Down, But We Don't Get Up by Donnie McClurkin. I said, I need you to finish it off with Ain't No Stopping Us Now. And he's a music person. He got amped like, yo, I'm about to go in the studio now. I said, slow down. I need it Monday. Let's talk Monday. But the amp was just like getting back to my kids and getting my video together. So Dennis, don't come for me. It's still not ready. I didn't do it yet. But I do have I got the music ready and the inspiration is there.
That's what's up. Because a couple of weeks ago, I had one of the things I was teaching about was us having a presence even in the midst of not seeing our kids, right? Yeah. Because what's really important is that our kids still see us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I had a conversation with Akbar last week, Akbar Cook, and unfortunately, the same day, last Thursday, one of his students actually got shot and murdered. And what was really tough about that is because I know Akbar, if he was able to get outside, he would have ran over to the spot. He would have ran over to the house. He would have went and did everything he could to make sure that the family was good, but also to his other students were cool. So, Ak, if you're in the room, how's the family doing? How's the kids in your school doing? Like, how's things going as a result of what happened last Thursday?
So
So as soon as about 1:30, I guess that Thursday it happened. So the parent told me that the kid was playing video games. He pressed pause and he wanted to go outside. It's like in New York, y'all close proximity to bodegas. He went to the bodega, got seen somebody didn't like him, and they shot him 11 times. And with it being COVID right now, the mom said she went out there and they was waiting so long for the ambulance because they all was dealing with the COVID-19 that he basically died on the street when she thought he could have made it to the hospital. 17-year-old gentleman. Just from then, I got on with Dennis that night, and it was probably one of the best nights. Not knocking none of the principals that supported me, but Dennis was like, "Cook, let your kids speak," and then all my kids joined my Facebook Live that day, and I got to hear how they was dealing with the dealing with the quarantine, but also how they was dealing with the loss of the students. So, but yeah, it was an emotional day, and I'm sure we all go through it. I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah, and I think that what was really important, reason why I asked Akbar to share that with us is because, again, just a few weeks ago we had this discussion about your presence, and last week, he and I on Instagram Live, and all of his students just chiming in, and I'm watching him get pumped up. You know what I'm saying? I watch him get energized, but I also watch them get energized too. So having a presence on social media during these times is extremely, extremely important. So I just want you all to understand that I understand there's a struggle to be so vulnerable and being in front of the camera. Hey, look, I'm in front of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, I think if nothing else, I try to lead by example. I'm not a big talker. I'm somewhat introverted. I don't like to be around a whole bunch of people all the time, but for the sake of doing my job, I do it, and I do it as often as possible. But trust me, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. So I understand the vulnerability that you all face when it comes to that. So Principal Rod in Compton, like I know we talked last week at Instagram Live as well about some of those type of things that happen around your school all the time, because you're in an awkward spot in terms of where your school is located, right?
Yeah, we I don't know how familiar you are out here in California. So my school is located in Watts, a subdivision of South Central LA, home of the Watts riots and different things like that. So during this whole pandemic, we are only in our second year. So I opened the school 2018. So we're in our second year, and we're dealing with the same struggles everybody across the nation is dealing with, similar to Akbar. Just with welfare, welfare for kids, safety for students, safety for my babies. Instagram has been a great, it was a great tool before we went on this pandemic. So we just continue to level up in that aspect of reaching out to kids and connecting with them and just worrying about their safety and welfare. That's the biggest thing, leading with grace before all this grade talk that everybody talk about. Like we just trying to just lead with grace, you know what I'm saying?
Right. This week, what I wanted to chop it up with you all about is around time management, right? Because what I'm finding out in conversations with principals nowadays is that most of us are just existing.
And I realized number one, because we're working out of home doesn't mean that we shouldn't still be managing ourselves as if we were going into the office, because if you're not taking care of yourself physically, then and mentally and spiritually and emotionally, then you're no good to nobody.
Man, good, great to see you, bro.
I'm a principal here in Brooklyn, and talking to one of my therapists today, we were talking about executive functions and how it's important to get our kids back on a schedule.
No doubt.
So sometimes we have to be really deliberate, right, with our children, but also ourselves. It's easy to fall off. It's easy to start like getting the COVID-19 kind of house vibes. And so what I've been working on is a new schedule. I've incorporated a nap because this is actually my nap time. But Jay Rib said, come on. I said, all right, not a problem. But this is really good. But hey, I totally agree with the brother that spoke before me that, we got to have a regimen. You got to have a schedule. And I said in the chat, function like a boss, right? We got to be performing at our highest levels right now.
And again, what's really funny to me, again, that I during these particular times, you'll start to see the areas that we were weakest in, it starts to shine through even more so. So if we weren't together, if we didn't have our stuff together, didn't have a schedule together, our time management was off, if we had no discipline in how we eat, if we didn't have no discipline in us exercising, if we didn't have discipline at all, unfortunately, it's going to rear its ugly head at this time, you know, because it's easy now. It's easy to not have a structure and feel justified for not having one. There's 6 tips I want us to focus on, and I want us to chime in if it relates to you. Right now, in terms of these tips, I need everybody, if you weren't doing it before, I need you to start planning out your day and your week. Basically, I don't care if it's a calendar, I don't care if you write it on a piece of paper. I need you to plan your day and your week out for the entire day, similar to how you would if you were at work. So the next thing I need us to do is to prioritize what it is that's important to do. Yo, get that out the way early. Get it out the way early. I watch some of you, I'll text some of y'all, or I'll call some of y'all call me. Yo, y'all meeting all day long. There's meeting from 9 o'clock all the way to the end of the day. Listen, y'all are boss. You make sure that you prioritize what meetings happen on what day. It don't make no sense that some of y'all are so wiped out at the end of the day when you all are the ones that are actually putting together the schedule of these meetings. Next, delegate. Now, this part is tough because I still don't think that we mastered that when we were in the school. We always thought to ourselves, let's get it done. I want to get it done myself. And unfortunately, now is the time where you understand that if you're not delegating, you're going to be burnt out and be sleeping like Derek at 4 o'clock every day. Next, learn to say no. Learn to say no. Now, I know that there's people in here that find that difficult, but if there's something you can't do for your teachers, if there's something you can't do for somebody, it's all right. Tell them, nah, I can't do that right now. Or I'll get somebody else to do it. Don't feel you got to do everything for them. The answer is no. This part right here is something I want you to be aware of too. Close your door. Now, can anybody, I want to stop right here for a minute. When I say close your door, how do we do that now? How does anybody plan to close their door now? Anybody, throw it out there.
Well, I usually gotta unplug.
Right.
That's the way we shut our door now. You know, maybe not turn the phone off, but put it on mute. You know, come out of Google Classroom. You know, I typically say unplug. Unplug.
Go ahead, Raven.
I was gonna say I do it literally. Hi, everybody. I was gonna say that I do it literally and figuratively. So I have 2 kids at home who are also doing the whole remote learning thing, and they have schedules. So I'm momming and principaling at the same time. And I just had to create a space for myself, like in my room. So I physically close my door when I need to focus and get things done. And then my kids know that I'm not available to them for whatever that moment of time is. But then when I'm done, I keep strict office hours. Once I close my laptop, it's closed. I make time to work out. I'll stop. I might look at emails or look at texts, but I've made a decision that I'm just not going to answer them after a certain time so that people don't feel like I'm just on call 24/7. Because those first 2 weeks I was just going nonstop, and I just felt like I was always going to hit the wall. So I'm like literally closing my door to my family if I have to. And when my day is over, whenever I decide my day is over, my nap game is strong. I'll take a nap if I need to. I'll work out, whatever it is. But I have no problem with shutting people out, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore.
That's what's up, Ray. And the other thing is fit in time for your own learning. Right? Let's keep that in mind. That the biggest part to all of this is we still should be learning something that we didn't know before all of this. It doesn't always have to be related to education. It could be related to anything that we want. But now we got to fit in our own time for you know, to learn something that we didn't know before. So one of the parts about off school grounds that I do is I bring I bring in special guests. The first week I brought in VJ Ralph McDaniels, and he tore the place up. I brought in Red Alert. The second week, he tore the place up. Last week, I brought in Big Daddy Kane. He tore the place up. Now this week, I'm going to bring in another brother who I know is going to turn this place upside down. But ladies, I'm going to let you, play it.
Can I introduce the general?
Sure.
Yeah, listen, first of all, let me say, I want to say something to you. From the first time I saw him at Latin Quarters in 1988, this is the most important, literally the most important, I wouldn't just say hip hop, I would just say in music and in culture itself. One of the most important people in culture itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to put your hands together for the great general. He goes by the name of Chuck D from the legendary Public Enemy.
What's going on, Chuck? What's going
Dr.
on,
Dennis,
brother?
how are you doing? You hear me, Dr. Dennis?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I can hear you.
You know you're a doctor already, man. I've been hearing y'all for this past half an hour, and it's been a very great opportunity to participate and listening, because that's what I like to do. A lot of times people think I do a lot of talking. I really like a lot of MCs. I've helped out with the joint the other day by the great LA Sunshine.
Yes.
And I do a lot more listening than I do talking, but when people see me publicly, I guess that's my turn to speak. So I have a saying, like, at my age, if I can't teach, I shouldn't even open my mouth to speak. So here I am, and I'm graced by y'all's presence. And my biggest beef with the entire media planet is that they don't even acknowledge one morsel, the ounce of the effort that it takes just to teach, man.
No question.
And in the educational structures, curriculum, and the front line people that make it happen have been tossed down the stairs for the last 30 years, man. The last 30 years, man. It's like our teachers are our celebrities, not our celebrities. Our teachers are celebrities.
This because I think we usually deal with entertainment as a silo. We deal with athletics as a silo. We deal with education as a silo versus the intertwining of all of it. Meaning, right now, Chuck, we going through the same thing you going through. You going through the same thing we going through, right? And so, I think it's important that when I bring guests in to talk to the principals, is that what you all see is and hear is that everybody's going through it. Everybody's going through it. And so you have basically just validated the point of, when you're responsible for a group and you're just responsible for a few entourage members versus a principal who's responsible for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000 kids and their families. It's important that, one, we got a presence that we talked about. 2, that you out front and by way of social media, but also 2, that you manage your time properly to get in front of these people that rely on you each and every day. Right now, to be able to say that you can get a collective group of 30, 45, 40 principals in one room that's not part of the same district is kind of unheard of at this point. And so I think it's more than just putting people in the room now. It's about look at all of the experiences. I got a chance for 90-something% of the people in this room to be able to observe their work, whether it's in person, whether it's on social media, whether it's, just in conversation. I've been able to witness it. So I know the dopeness that's in this room. I know that it's here. It's just that we got to be willing to keep doing it. And the one place that we can show that stuff and can do it right now, and some people are doing it, is right there on social media. Right there on social media. If you want to see some amazing things that's happening with some of these people in this room, all I'm saying is go in and touch base and get into these people's Instagram or get into their Facebook, and you'll see what dopeness is all about. And I'm fortunate to be able to see it from a global perspective because I have a relationship pretty much with everybody in the room. But I'm telling you that the power that's in this room is unmatched by anything else.
Just let me throw a little West Coast vibes in there real quick. So I just think we got a rare opportunity to reimagine education. And I think echoing what everybody else said, what I'm hearing is an opportunity to really reimagine education, and it's connected to economics, it's connected to our society. So my proposition, and I would love Chuck D feedback on this, is we have this rare opportunity as we prepare for the great return for education as we get out of this pandemic. What will it take for us with these revolutionary leaders online to create a vertical alignment? Because at the end of the day, I know Cook said it, like we principals to get our students to a living wage, right? Like and providing critical hope. So if we're talking about the arts and we're talking about this, what will it take to connect with resources with all the principals here to create a vertical pipeline of just, let's say that's just the minimal thing of just like the arts and funding that is appropriated with a vision to prepare students with careers in that industry from each one of the schools that's online. I just want to prepare students for the arts because I believe in it, and I want to know if that's something that we could possibly do, and I'd love to be part of it.
That this reminds me of the conversation that we started with Big Daddy Kane last week, and Big Daddy Kane said that we needed to bridge the gap. So in the comment, I said, well, who will be the bridge? Is the bridge a committee that we forge together that is comprised of principals and entertainers? And the focus will be for that bridge to make sure that what we're talking about right now gets addressed. So we won't continue to go around and round, because if we bring the two heads to the table, the educators who understand what's happening in the school building, and then the entertainers who understand how to galvanize other individuals that have the finances, then we can put our heads together in the boardroom and be strategic warriors about how to make sure that our Black and brown babies are getting what is needed.
I counter with that by saying, I hate to bust everybody's bubble here. There ain't no industry. There's no industry, and stop looking at them like they are industry. There's a group of technologists there, and whatever pieces it together as entertainment follows that. There's a sports industry. There's no entertainment industry per se. You could say there's a movie industry, but music, it's been destroyed at 6 to 7 to 8 to 10 years ago. It's all over the place. The question would be, where's the collective educational voice that will dictate the narrative and saying, this is what this artistic body is, and this is where it can go.
So let me just jump in real quick. I just wanted to also to introduce a good friend of mine who's in here, joined us, and I appreciate her coming through, Jamila T. Davis. You all, when you see her, you know her. I mean, it's hard.
Hey, Jamila.
And not know who Jamila is. So I just wanted to have her come in. I know she's familiar with Chuck, and Chuck is familiar with her, and you both familiar with education. So step on in, Jamila.
It's ironic. Chuck, one of my friends, Aisha Hall, her father, Chuck signed him. So that's crazy back in the day. But I wanted to say this. First of all, I'm Jamila T. Davis. I'm an author, motivational speaker, activist, and reality star Yandy Smith is my partner. I actually started off in Akbar School, right? So one day, a person that sits on his school board slid in my DM, and they said, if kids could hear your story, I feel like it could change our district in Newark. And he brought us in to do a program. And Chuck, it was based around music and the arts. It was based around entrepreneurship, giving his kids real skill sets, bringing entertainers and people that the kids relate to into the school. And we was able to create magic. So I'm listening to what you guys are saying. Like, it definitely takes politics because a lot of them have the money, but somebody that I respect so much that's on this call is Dr. Small and Marie, who brought up the conversation about how you guys have been able to tap into all of this grant money, right? So I notice when I go to different schools, everybody has different skill sets. So I think it's a powerful thing that you guys are now in one room where you can actually share resources that will actually help benefit our kids. So I'm really excited. I salute Dennis for putting this collective together, because together you guys can do anything. And even if you take small bits of your budget, you guys could take small bits of your budget and put it together in a pot and cook something that our kids have never, ever, ever seen before.
Absolutely. And listen, y'all, follow Jamila on Instagram. You need periodically to have, the Chuck D's, the Jamilas, LA Sunshine, different people popping into some of your Google Classrooms and popping into some of the things that are going on. Because trust me, those things inspire kids as well. You know what I'm saying? We can't do it all. And what she's basically saying is she's on the ground, she's on the ground level, and she's out here beating the pavement every day that she can to make a difference in these kids' lives. And I think that we got to understand what's in this room. And hey, Chuck, I'm going to give you a last word here, man, before we wrap up.
Brother Dennis, before we jump
Who's that? Is that Moody?
Yes,
all right,
sir, my brother. How you feeling?
I'm fantastic. Good to see you.
Madison, New Jersey. I have a brother on the line. His name is Ronald Cope. It's a good friend of mine. I love what you're doing with this program, brother. And the sister Jamila just spoke, and some of the people we heard from, it's inspiring to me. I mean, I've been around a little long. 22 years I've been here as an educator, and I've been an administrator for 18 of those years. So we go through these times where we start feeling, you just start feeling that we're not moving. We're not moving as fast as we need to be moving, understanding the situation that our people are in. And I see some of the brothers and sisters, I love this energy. But if I can encourage us all to know, we are the change. It's us. Some of us come from the communities. Me, myself, I actually graduated from the high school that I became the principal of. Major high school, a school that I love, a community that I love. So that love and energy that we put into our schools and holding teachers accountable to giving our kids the very best is our job. We have to take ownership of that.
These people are authentic and genuine about what they do. They're genuine about leading their kids. And I just want you to, again, you close us out, Chuck. Talk to us a little bit about something that you want to share before we get out of here.
Yeah, frontline people. The frontline people have to be saluted, like in the front of the line and at the top of the pile. You should never think of yourself as, toiling you bringing the bottom up to the front anyway. But when you have a society that kind of looks at it as like whatever, just like they've looked at our people in general, somebody has to all of a sudden say that there got to be a collective voice. They ain't going to take it no more.
Well, that's dope, man. I definitely thank you for coming, man. You're always welcome. Every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to have you continue to bring other people in there. All of you for coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you. Lays, you wanna say the last word before we get out of here, Lays?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank Chuck D for coming in and showing us this love and this great leadership. This is why he is who he is. I want to give a shout out to my brother, LA Sunshine, a real pioneer, and all the principals that come to do this every week. Every week, we showing this kind of love. You don't understand. This is the beginning of a beautiful thing. God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all. Salute.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck.